So, welcome back, I guess, if this is your other time watching the video. But, once again, I just wanted to say that the way that I want this video to be like is, I don't want to, particularly bash somebody, but it's going around about the latest scandal or the latest hullabaloo, whatever you want to call it. The biggest thing to go around is the JBL Mauro Ronaldo thing, where it's obviously, I guess, supposedly he was bullied by JBL the whole entire time, or at least most of the time that he was in WWE, and a lot of people are doing the fire JBL chants and stuff like that, and I just wanted to weigh in my opinion on the matter, really, because I thought that I had something to say about this stuff. But once again, it's mostly because I disagree with, I definitely think that I get, probably, I don't have no wrestling expertise, so the only thing that I know of is often watching it, which is most people that do YouTube podcasts or YouTube videos at all anyway. But so I don't know anything that they do in the background, behind the scenes and stuff in WWE or anywhere really. I don't know how kayfabe work, or well, I do know what kayfabe works, but certain things I just do not know. So I don't know about their situation back in WWE and their behind the scenes, how they take to ribbing or bullying or whatever. But I'm assuming that it just works like every other job that you end up having, because I know I've had some shitty jobs before and had people that tried to bully me or tried to do stuff just to coerce me to either quit or do something to get me fired or whatever. So I definitely think that JBL's in the wrong, and I definitely agree with a lot of people that say that there should be action against JBL, because really at the end of the day, I get him being one of the top guys for Vince McMahon, right? But also at the same time, Bill DeMott came out and they did that big old scandal where he was let go. I mean, mostly because they couldn't do anything else with him. But JBL has had a long history of why he's been getting in trouble or getting caught bullying people. Especially, I think the main one is when he went against the Blue Meanie. When he just one of the one-night stands, I can never remember the exact years and shit for pay-per-views, but one of the one-night stands where they did an all-out brawl, all-out brawl with everybody, and JBL beat the shit out of him, and he was bleeding at the end of the battle royal and everything. So I think that's one of the main ones that stands out. And I was listening to what Blue Meanie was saying, and he was talking about that he was bullying him the whole time. Not to the point where it was super amount where he just wanted to quit, but it was bothering him. And he mentioned it to him at one point, and he was like, oh, whatever. Or I think he said it in the background to somebody else, and then he kind of heard, you know how it gets where you hear drama at your work or wherever you're at, where it kind of goes from one person, and then by the time that it hits you, it turned into a completely different story. That's what it looked like, it sounded like to me. So eventually it just turned into that big old thing, and then JBL beat the shit out of him, pretty much. I don't know the situation on the Mauro Ronaldo thing. It looks like most of the time JBL has a problem with picking on smaller dudes, and especially if they're it seems like most of the time it's non-wrestlers too. It's because most of the people that he's bullied are like smaller than him or whatever. Like I think it was Justin Roberts that they were talking. This is one thing that annoyed me, is when I heard this story when I was just listening about Mauro Ronaldo, and they were sitting there talking about, I think it was Justin Roberts, I could be wrong, but in his book he was detailing how JBL, or he couldn't actually say that it was JBL, but like the other people came out at the time and like after the fact and said that he asked them to take his passport, but he took Justin Roberts' passport. That way he got stuck where he was at. I forgot exactly where he was at the time, but they left it, and so pretty much he got stranded there when he had to announce or whatever he was doing on SmackDown or one of the other shows that he had to be at. So he had to like get out of the way. He had to go to the embassy and get another one just to get back. And that's the type of shit that kind of annoys me with the whole situation, is because, I mean, granted, we don't know the whole story, right? But most of the time, you can tell if there's a fucking asshole that does whatever they want in a certain aspect, right? Like, I could see, like, certain people being assholes, especially when they're such good heels. You know that some of that exudes out of you. So, like, a part of asshole is always in you. And certain people are just very good very good heels, but because they are assholes, like true assholes. I'm not saying that, like, all of them are, but I think that there's a chance that there's a dickish part in them that's weighs out more than the other half, if you get what I mean. But I definitely think that, like, I don't think Mauro Ronaldo should have quit, but I mean, also at the same time, if you're, there's been times with a lot of people where, like, you've been battered or, like, bullied constantly, that feels like you're major out. Like, if it was me, I would have said it to his face and confronted him and was like, you know, if you have a fucking problem with me, you can fucking have a problem. Like, we could settle this or whatever, like, you fucking want. And probably punch him in the face or whatever that would come out of it. You would think that you wouldn't have to do that, but some people just don't listen to anything else. The only thing that they pay attention to is you exerting your strength or showing that you're not going to back down from somebody. So, and knowing that Mauro didn't do that, it seems like that's the reason why he kept on picking on him. And even now on SmackDown, he's still picking at him. He's not even on, he's on contract with WWE, but he is not working any shows. He's just waiting until his contract goes out. What does this asshole do? He sits there and takes pot shots at him. Really? You're talking about, like, that's such a sad human being to, like, pick on a person that knows that they can't say anything back, except for maybe through Twitter or some shit. Like, so you're telling me that you gotta sit there and take pot shots at somebody just because you don't like what they have to say, or like just because they are who they are. You could pretty much suck a dick for all I care, because, but I mean, that's just the type of person that I am. I just really don't care for people that treat people like that. Like, I think you should always treat somebody like the way that you should be treated, which is not like an asshole. Not like taking somebody's passport and leaving them stranded in some other country where you have to sit there for like however many days to get another one. Or pretty much sitting there bashing somebody because he was proud that he got an Announcer of the Year award through some website or like Wrestling Observer, or I forgot where it was. Like, just because he tweeted about it, it was such a big deal. It's probably because JBL is such shit at commentary, where all he talks about is the same shit over and over and over and over. It's like he learned shit from Michael Cole. Because all Michael Cole does is say that, I mean, I should just cut that out. Shouldn't even talk about that, because if you haven't noticed, it's easy for me to ramble about things, get off the topic of stuff, and lead into other things. So, what's it called? On the topic, I guess I'm going to leave that here because I don't want to keep on talking about stuff and getting sidetracked because I know I can do that a lot. So, I'm going to end the video here. So, if you guys feel like liking or subscribing to my channel or doing anything, I know I'm probably barely anybody watched my videos anyway. I think I get like 10 views or anything, but I just feel like doing this, and then if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You know, it's just, at least somebody could watch it or something. Maybe it'll reach this one person and then be like, yeah, that makes sense. That I dig what he ends up saying, or I agree with what he's saying. So, and that in mind, I guess I will talk to you guys in another video. Bye.